Hi, this is David here at Highland Camper Vans, and we are going to take a wee walk around the Roaming Homes Ford Transit. Now, I do apologise for the weather. It has been snowing here for the last couple of days in Inverness, so I'll take you around as best as I can to let you see all the bits and pieces on this van. So let's start around the outside. Okay, so a lot of people do ask about the graphic. So the graphic is actually a dandelion, and this was put on by the previous owner of the vehicle. Now this is just a vinyl graphic. If you're not too keen on it, it can be removed. It's not a painted fixture to the vehicle. Some people have asked if it's painted, and it's not. It's just a vinyl graphic on the van. So with the awning on the side, we have the Vanmir 45 with the bayonet hook just on the side there, and it's a full scope awning, and there is an exterior awning light here as well. So if you have the awning out and it's a little bit dark, then you do have the light. So moving around, got the headlights. Now I do apologise, there's a bit of background noise here. The vans are running. We do this when the vehicles are cold, just to make sure everything is all tickety-boo. And let's move on into the cab. So this van has been running for about an hour and a half now. So let me just turn down the fan. There we go. So there we go. You can see the vehicle has been running. This little orange symbol here is just to let you know that it is cold outside. So just be careful. It's not a warning light. And then this is obviously the handbrake light just here. Okay. Let me clear this so you can see there's the mileage for the vehicle itself. So the vehicle has a heated windscreen. I don't know if you can make this out. I'll try and get this if I can. It's very tricky. Oh, there we go. You can just make out the zigzag. So it has the heat screen. And then this is our interior. So this interior is custom for the van itself. It's just retrimmed seat covers from the Ford. So it's not covers on top, it's actually physically been retrimmed in this new color. So it means it still incorporates the original Ford workman pocket. Here's the rest of the dash. And as I said, as I'll show you in part of this video, there are cab lines for the front of this van. So let's carry on around. Okay, moving down the side. Again, you've got the dandelion graphic. As I said, this is just a graphic. I don't know if you can see that there. It is just a graphic. So if you do not want to keep this on the van, you can remove it. I kind of like it. I kind of like the style. I think it looks pretty. So just down here, we have the tuber boiler exhaust vent. So this is part of the heating system. So this is where the boiler will vent when the boiler is running. Moving around the back, we have reinstated the two-lay bicycle rack that the vehicle came with. The original picture did show it on the back of the van, but it is now been reinstated. So it is a two-cycle carrier with the trails just here. This belt just folds down, and it is removable. So if you don't want it on the back, it can be removed again if need be, as it were. But it's there, so it's very handy to use. So let's open the rear. Try and avoid getting all covered in snow. So this is the equipment in here. So this is the cap lights. That's them just there. This just here looks to me like another cover of some kind, maybe a windscreen cover. There's a couple of ramps just here. Then down in the next section, you've got water line. There's a power cable, I believe, in here. There is also let me see, there's a fresh water line, some toilet chemicals. There's a little water jug just here as well, so it's handy to carry some spare water. So for example, like today, it's been extremely frosty. Sometimes the boilers will trip their valves, drop their water out just for safety, or you want to empty the tank for safety. Then in the morning, you've got some water on board, which you can then put in to make a cup of tea, etc., things like that. And there's some other bits and accessories. There's a fill neck just here. And then there's a cap table. This is obviously for when the previous owner's been sitting outside. He's got a little table to use. Now just down here, I don't want to open this up because I think it's going to fall out. Let's see if I get it to go. There we go. The previous owner has just left in again a water caddy unit for wastewater. So again, if you're on campsites which don't let you drain straight through, then you've got a little caddy unit here which you can just jump straight into and then go and empty it out for later. That there is the table for use in the back of the van, and then you've got the awning pole just tucked in here as well. And then you have a service access just down here, which is for the chemical toilet, and there's a service access just down here for the boiler, and I believe that just down there is an external shower point as well as a 12-volt socket for the rear. So if you had a cool box or something in the back of the van, or you want to run a device in the back of the van, you've got a spot to run that in there. So that's those equipment pieces in there. So what we'll do is we'll now move into the habitation zone. So let's move around. Open the door. In we go. Now, this particular Roman Homes here isn't equipped with an electric step, so we've using one of our little steps here just to make access in and out a little bit easier, but it has been pre-wired by Roman Homes for a switch control. So if you decided that you wanted to add a retractable electrical step, the switch control's already here for it. This just down here is a barbecue access point. So if you again using the outside space with the awning and the table and you want to use a little outside barbecue, then you've got a hookup point there for it. Okay, so let's go on in. Let's get to quickly bang my feet, as I don't want to trek water in and out. So this just here is the bed. So I'm going to put the camera into wide angle. So the camera lens is going to, there we go. So that's wide angle, so lets you see this a bit more easier. So this is the bed. So this just pulls out like so, and then the two cushions drop down, and then that makes your bed. It is super quick and easy to make. Very easy, which I think is brilliant, because if you turn up onto a campsite late at night, the last thing you want to do is to be faffing about with a complicated bed system. So you can see here, again, this bit just slides across, and then it fills this gap. So this part comes across, that cushion drops down, and as I said, the bed is a standard double size. Now I'm 6'3", and I had a wee go online on the bed, and I was absolutely fine. So there's lots of space. It's a good, nice, comfy bed, and these cushions here, they are nice and soft. Now I would say, now this material here is also very easy to use. I would probably recommend, for the 2 steps it takes, is that when the bed's down, just pop a sheet over the top of it, or your favorite kind of topper. Just makes life a lot easier. So moving down the back, we have our domestic fridge unit hiding in here. So it's a nice decent wee fridge, and that has its own control switch located up here, so it can be run while the vehicle is running. So if you're driving to and from your next sites, you then can have the fridge on while the vehicle is running. Up here is the True control system. You also have the onboard LPG tank system just here, which is what this is for. So the van is fitted with LPG tank rather than bottles. So the tank is underslung underneath. This is brilliant because it means you can carry a great store of gas on board. Now here at Highland Camper Vans, we do have the refillable point, and there are other refillable points up and down the country. Certain campsites, but primarily you're looking for heating gas suppliers, because LPG is used for heating gas as well as for auto gas. You then got your level controls just here, which let you see the different levels and battery statuses for the vehicle. And again, you've got additional light switches, and this is the bathroom light just here. That's the fridge switch just there, as I mentioned. 3-pin socket, and you've got USB there for charging mobile devices or other devices like tablets or USB items. So moving across, we have our TV unit. Now this is connected to an aerial. So there's a little socket just at the back of this there, and this is fully functional as well. It is on a bracket at the back here, so you can pull it out a little bit. So if the angle's not right, you can move the telly across or across the door, whatever you find easier for yourself. So sink, nice big size sink. So I've got quite a big hand, so you can see there, really big sink, nice wee drainer. And then you've got, as you can see here, you've got the mixer tap for hot and cold water with your waste going through underneath the vehicle itself. And then moving across, you have our cooker unit. So this just here is a 3-burner ring. So you've got 1 master and 2 shorts. And then on the oven side of things, you have an oven and grill. And to my mind, this oven and grill has probably not really been used very much at all. You can still see the very subtle bluing as when the metal is just first starting being heated. So I get a feeling that the previous owner didn't really use the oven much. They probably just made beans or pasta, very much like myself on a camp. I don't tend to use the oven much, but it's nice to have it if it's there. So storage cupboards. So the one to the side here. So you've got a cap kettle and some bits and pieces to get you going. And there is some chop boards and some tea towels and a couple of shop bags in there, which have been left by the previous owner. I do encourage my brokerage customers to leave equipment behind that they don't plan to use anymore. It just means for a lot of my customers who may be starting out for the very first time in this community, you've got something to sort of set you off with. There's nothing worse than setting off in your brand new van and then getting to a campsite and realizing, like I did, that you've forgotten the bottle opener. So this is underneath the sink just here. So there's a couple of cups and glasses. There's a little draining board and then another big cupboard underneath there. And then to the side, you have got your cutlery drawer, which has all been fully serviced. So everything is all there. So you could literally just set straight off and go off up in the North Coast 500, across the 250, Lossy, Aberdeen Way, whatever you fancy. You can literally head straight off in this van. So a nice big cupboard. Again, let me use my hand. It's a really big cupboard, this one. This one's great for pots and pans, I would reckon. And then there's our bottom one just down here. Again, nice big drawer. And then down on the other side, you've got another little cupboard hiding under here. And that again, there is a little, what do they call them? It's a little stool. So again, another nice big cupboard hiding under there. And then you've got cupboards up high. So got a couple of baskets in here for putting some storage items in. So it's a nice big cupboard. Next one along. Again, more storage baskets. You'll also notice that this is all lined as well for great insulation. Now I have to admit, the heating's not on with this van, and it's actually pretty pleasant in here. I wouldn't say it's cold at all. Let me just pop this on a second. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. So again, more cupboard storage hiding in here. So that gives us 3 big units across the side here. You've got a little mini one just forward. Again, just making use of that nice bit of space. Okay, as it's not as big as the others, but it is nice and deep. So there's a good space in there for putting pieces in. And then you've got the big one over the cab, which has got the table leg on board. And again, it's a really good, decent space. Great place to put pieces out of the way. Okay, so moving that down. I just want to see if this is going to give me, no, this one doesn't give me the internal temperature, but it's not cold in here at all at the moment. Very surprising. So let's open this one up for the kitchen. So hiding in here is the Wi-Fi unit, and you've got a fire blanket and some other bits and pieces. There's the pan for the grill and the remote control for the televisions hiding in here. So it's a couple of bits and pieces to get you going. And then the one to the side, and that one there's got a couple of bowls. So, it's quite a nice pattern, that one. A couple of bowls in there, again, all lined to sort of help things, stop them from rattling about inside. So, above my head, we have our lights. So, I need to turn the lights on first, David. Let's turn the lights on. So there we go, we've got our lights just there. And then we have 2 further on down, so it makes the area nice and bright. You've then got your large skylight here as well, which I'm not going to open because it's all covered in frost. But the skylight does have a blind, and it also has a fly screen as well. So you can open it, or at night time, if it's too bright, you can darken this down. So as you mentioned in your email, we got curtains just here on the rail, and they just come across and just cover all the windows up. And let's have a look at the bathroom. So into the bathroom, let me put the bathroom light on. So in the bathroom, we have our drop-down sink. Let's pull that down. And again, you've got your mixer tap just here. And then the water just washes down like so, as when you're finished with the sink. And then you have your Thetford chemical toilet, like so, which has your flush unit just here. And it also gives you a level indicator on there as well, lets you know how it's getting on. And then you have your full shower unit. So on the side here, is you've got the shower head, and there is a towel rail at the top there for hanging towels, and you've got a wee screen just here, so when you are using the shower you can pull the screen around just to protect the woodwork. And right above you there is a ventilator, so there is a fan on here which you can switch on, so when you're using the shower you can literally draw moisture straight out the vehicle. So this whole surface is designed to be a wet room, so you can kind of be a bit slosh in here. Now I'm 6'3", so I'm going to stand in here just now, and I'm going to flip the camera around so There we go. So that's me in the shower. As I said, I am 6'3", and there is loads of space to use the shower. And again, shoulder to shoulder, loads of room. Compared to other vans that we have on site, the shower in this is really generous. It's a really good, generous size shower, this one. So let me flip the camera back around again. There we go. So moving out, so you can see down the length of the van. And finally, you do have storage under the cushion here. So this is a complete bunk storage hiding under here. If I just lift this up, there's storage underneath this bunk. Now ideally you do need to move the cushions out the way to access this a little bit better, which is a bit hard to do one-handed, but you do have all this under here for storage. There is also additional storage underneath this seat here as well. You can lift this up and you've got access to storage bins under there. Let me show you that just now actually. Let's come on out. Again, I'm going to try and do this one-handed, which is of course a bit tricky. There we go. And this seat incidentally does rotate. You can spin this seat around, so you can actually use this with the table on here. So someone could be sitting here and you could be using this here as additional seating as well. But as I said, you've got extra storage hiding under here as well. And then granted, you have your normal glove box storages around the van. And there we go. I hope you find that helpful. But of course, do please let me know if there's anything that I have missed in this video or which I can re-clarify for you. But I definitely would recommend come and have a look at this van in person. It is a lovely van and it's ready for adventure. So there you go. So as I said, my name's David. I'm here at Highland Camper Vans and I hope you found that video really helpful. But of course, please let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. I'd be more than happy to help. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.